Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is Loop Hero. Figured I'd share this bit. I've been grinding for resources and the like. I've got the supplies trait, so I drop off stuff every time I go past the camp. So I've been actually collecting a lot more than what I've got in my bag here. I've just been doing a ton of loops. As you can see, I thought I could have sworn that putting out a bunch of chrono crystals caused something to get summoned, but apparently not, because as you can see, I've put out a bunch and nothing different. That there, and that there. That said, I think this is also the highest I've ever gotten equipment gear, like level-wise, as well as loop level in a run. And it's really cool if, you destroy a mountain when there's another set to make the giant mountain. It just transfers. So I've just been milking this for a lot of resources so far. Ooh, perfect. That's what I need for the final encounter. And I'm about to go up against the Lich again, and because might as well at this point. Win or lose, I've gotten tons of resources out of this. And if I win, I get another Orb of Immortality, which can be very useful. Let's see here. Yeah, we are getting tons of resources out of this. I'm really curious if there's item levels above 20 now, though, because I haven't seen anything go that high yet. But at the same time, how this works is, they tend to go up as, level 21, so they do go above level 20. That's a lot of hit points. Alright. Really cool. And, Helmet, the main hero, if you place the, what's it called? The Arsenal? Let me check. Yeah, the Arsenal card, the golden card, that reduces item quality by 15% but unlocks the additional equipment slot. For the main hero, it's a helmet, which gives retaliation damage. Which, kind of a cool little touch, and kind of useful even. As well, just with how it works out overall. And we're just kind of placing things down now to gather as many resources as we can on our way out here. It's a little crazy at this point in the run with how many things we've gone through. Place that there, thank you. Alright, we're getting tons of resources. I will show you the deck build I had when I get back to camp. It was a very simplified deck build to try to increase the chances of drawing chrono crystals. Yeah, hi, usual runs. Let's see how long it takes me to destroy you or get destroyed by you. At this loop level, you're a really high level yourself. How much damage? Yeah, you do like almost 400 damage. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure if I can beat him or not. But I have to try, right? Ooh, good God, countering there. That's really great. Okay, we got it. Bye, dude. Yep. Alright, we got a ton out of that. Let's head back, because I don't want to lose this still. And that's some good stuff. Retreat. Okay, yeah, we got a ton. As you can see, I've got like 18 books now, tons of other things. Let's see what we can do here. The cemetery could get upgraded, which would be good for increasing the number of resurrections we get. But first, let's take a look at what we can build that's new in general first, because I'd rather do that, you know? Still don't have the right things for an alchemist's tent. Don't know how to get those. I'm going to have to look up how to get that resource for the forests. Well, we've already got one forest, so it doesn't matter too much. Or that resource. Yeah, we're definitely missing a few things still. We can get the war camp, an obstacle course with training dummies, and a grumpy old war veteran. Enough to make you live a bit longer in battle. Increases the hero's strength by 4%. Unlocks the outpost card. Okay. Beg your pardon, sir. Could you please take a step towards the training square? A bit closer if you would. Great, thank you, good sir. Now get in line, rookie. I'll teach you how to fight properly, you wimp. I'll work you to the ground. I'll tear out your soul to make space for the muscle if need be. Some might call it torture, but I call it efficient education. Okay. So yeah, expedition-wise, this was my build-up. Oh, what is this? This light is so bright that it makes you forget about passing of time. Each day passes 50% faster within its range. Time Watchers may join battles within its range. They are afraid of vampires. This is what I was thinking the Chrono Crystal summoned. The Temporal Beacon. Why did that show up now? Wait. Did it show up because I did a bunch with the Time Crystals? Or did it show up because of... Yeah, that doesn't do it. Maybe there was some combo of something in the camp that made it? I don't know. Either way, really interesting. We're going to have to explain. Or explore some things. Let's put that out. Soldiers from this outpost are always glad to help a traveler. Not for free, though. Adds a guard on your side to battle in adjacent tiles. On adjacent tiles. As payment for his work, the outpost will take away all yellow and orange items dropped in the battle. Okay, so you get some help, but you lose gear, potentially. If it drops in the battle that they helped with. Okay. What if there's a chance they can help in the final battle? Like the boss battles or not. I don't know. I'll have to see what the rules are for their placement. That could be exactly what we need to help out with the second and third boss fights if we ever... I still have to get to the second boss fight. But that could be what we need to do that. Let's drop that. Put that back in. Also, I probably could have done better with getting like the Chrono Crystals out faster and other things if I had included the Bookery, which lets me swap out cards. At the time, I kind of forgot to put it in. Let's put the Temporal Beacon in. We got that, we got that. Alright, so now we've got a nice deck setup. Let's see if there's anything else we can do in here. No. Well, we do have enough to make a mud hut and a watchtower. We got a farm. So let's see, watchtower. One crossbowman will help you from each tower in battles on tiles adjacent to the campfire. Only applies to battles with normal enemies. You'll have to deal with the bosses yourself. You can build up to 4 towers. Okay. That's a nice structure right there. Sturdy, reliable, useful. I keep telling this to myself over and over. I even almost believe it now. My boys can already see quite far in this dark fog. They'll support you in battle wherever a crossbow bolt can reach. And the civilians will sleep better at night. I can guarantee their safety. What does upgrading do? Increases some sort of camp slot. Attack range is increased by 1 tile. Oh, that's really cool. Makes the crossbowmen stronger. Huh. That's really expensive, though. I'd rather save those resources for things I haven't already built. I could make more towers, but let's build one mud hut. A hovel made of sticks and mud. Houses only one person. Every resident brings you closer to victory. Build more houses. You can give residents furniture or food to the store. Alright, we'll put that. We are one step closer from the humble camp to a proud village, even though it's just a hut half buried in mud. But we are honestly grateful. The people are very exhausted, body and mind. Some private space to call home will make anyone happier. What happens if we upgrade it? Alright, just gives me more slots. Alright, so that must mean it's more stuff for the supplies. We got a lot of supplies here. Let's take a look at what we can do with this. Garlic. The distinctive taste of garlic will make any food tastier. Nobody knows why vampires don't like garlic, but maybe it's a price they must pay for their extraordinary powers. Plus your hero's damage against all vampires. Alright. Smoked ham. Tasty smoked meat is always a welcome guest to any table. Heals 5 hit points at the start of each day. Huh. Alright, what's this? Old painting. Just a single look at this painting reminds you of someone, but you still can't remember who. That might be canvas oil paints. Year and creator are unknown. Increases damage done to boss by... Okay, that's going in. Alright, I guess I just don't have enough room to put up more items right now. What else do we have here? The hero's damage is increased by 5% when used within the range of a road lantern or a beacon effect. Mostly just a piece of art, but still quite useful. It's a real waste to burn 3 candles at once. Well, who can refuse the comfort of some warm light in these dark times? That could be very useful, though. Where was it going? It goes down there. What can we remove? Chance to redirect the storm. I don't need that. Alright, we'll put that there. Finding a rare item by 10% chance. Okay, that could go for the 1 defense replacement. Multiple lenses with different magnifying abilities put into a single frame with a varnished handle allows the jeweler to become even better at what he does. Nice. Oops. Where's that going? Alright. So that gives us quite a nice... Alright. Group chat. There we go. Now you're all silenced, right? Alright. Build. Anything else we can build that we haven't yet? Mud. Alright, well, since we still seem to have a bit of a ways to go before we get the lumberjack or anything else, might as well put in another watchtower, right? Well done. More towers means more soldiers. More soldiers means more arrows. More arrows means more arrows. Alright. That should help us out quite a bit. Now, expedition. So yeah, so the arsenal lets the necromancer get a shield, lets the main adventurer get a helmet, and what does it let the rogue do? Let's test that. Arsenal lets them get a necklace. Okay. Interesting. Well, I think I will cut it here for now until we get on to the next bit of things. Put that right there. Okay, so here's what happens when you have the outpost. You get a guard in battle. Alright. Nothing fancy. Alright, here we have the Storm Temple. Let me show you how that works. Put that down, and any areas, like if you're fighting an area that lines up with the beams from this, they cause lightning bolts to strike. Also, it turns forests into burned forests, which increase pure damage. Trees that were struck by lightning and burned to ashes are filled with a new power. Let's try this temporal thing. Alright, I'll put you here. And another one, okay, put that there. Now we get the Watchers. Benefactor grants an ally 15 magic shield instead of attacking, only once per ally. Will flee combat if there are no more valid targets. Fatalism. 33% chance to receive only 1 damage from an attack. Okay. Interesting. So, Cosmic Mage has a soul. I feel like that could be useful for... I wonder what type of resources they drop. It's hard to say exactly, because especially with the rogue not taking some of the things like they normally do, that they normally would. Alright, let's work on that. Do that, do that. Get some more forests on here so we can get some more pure damage. Put a few forests over here not burned so we can get some hero attack speed up. Alright. Interesting that the desert turns them into maquis, but if they were burned, the burned takes priority. And like that one was a maquis down here, and it became burned. So yeah, definitely a change in how it's handled. Sorry, man, you're kind of gonna get no good stuff here. Ooh. The hero gets +1 max hit points for each trophy he gets since this trait is taken. Chance to simultaneously attack 2 targets or supplies. Let's get the supplies one since we're trying to drop some more resources off and whatnot. Alright. I'm pretty sure there was an interaction with the outpost, but I don't know if there's one for like your normal character build, or I believe there's one for the Necromancer where they actually refuse to help because you're a Necromancer. Whoa, they dropped 4 memory fragments. That's a lot. Oh, there's the effect of the crossbowman from the outpost. Nice. Very nice. Quality whatever I got. retreat. Alright, we'll have to save up some metal. Alright, everyone, back. Looks like we managed to get another orb of crafts. So now I just need to get some metal saved up in order to build the lumberjack, which would give stable branch for every completed loop, but no more than the amount of tiles around the lumberjack's hut. Unlocks the ability to craft furniture if the supply depot is built. Interesting. So we're getting close to that. Just have to get some metal. Probably be easiest to make that with expedition with the main warrior character, since they produce so many items. But then again, so does the necromancer. So either one of them could probably be a good choice. In the meantime, before we wrap up this episode, how about we put some of these books to use? Let's see, what do we want to learn more about? Wait, dark slime? When did I write into that? I don't remember writing into that. Well, the very few indigenous species of these strange times, the dark slime feels very much at home in the ruins of the now forgotten world. Planet configuration integrity violation 0-14V2 attachment 1. A creature doesn't disappear within the 0-point bounds when the quintessence source is removed. 4 cases. Temporarily replaced with Cosmos Concentrate. Further research required. A report by illegible. Probably the necromancer. Or not the necromancer, the lich. Probably the lich did that one. Where's the outpost? Let's get some info here. Soldiers from this outpost are always glad to help a traveler out for free. Help a traveler, not for free though. Adds a guard on your side to battles on adjacent tiles. Yep. Usually outposts are built either by military forces or of some country or by mercenaries looking for stable income. But their origin makes no difference to a traveler. Either way, the roads become safer at the cost of some coin. People tend to show little enthusiasm about the soldiers stationed at an outpost. It's nice, of course, to be safe from the teeth and claws of a beast that suddenly attacked you on the way to the market. But how are you supposed to survive the winter now that they took half the crops you wanted to sell? This mountain is so big that it had to be singled out from other rock formations and given a separate name. There are a few tribes living around this mountain peak, but only the Harpies are well known to us. They can easily cope with the thin air and the extremely cold winds that always blow down the peak slopes. Certain discoveries indicate the existence of a civilization clearly very advanced in magic arts, which at some point disappeared almost without a trace. Why it disappeared is still a mystery, as well as why such a hostile environment was chosen for its capital. The few people who decide to explore the peak sooner or later reach the same conclusion: one ought to explore something more plain and easy. Interesting. Where is the... Let's check the bookery. Survival is quite a difficult task. Usually people commit their whole life to it. But if just surviving isn't enough, if you crave answers to the questions you ask, if you want to have a peek at the secrets of creation, then a bookery is the place for you. The withered finger of a scribe will point you towards the right shelf, and his hands will provide you with a table, a stack of paper for your notes, and all the ink and candles you may need. Don't mind the sickly and almost inhuman look of the scribes. When exactly does the thirst for knowledge turn into servitude to it? The question is almost rhetorical. The transition is too smooth. You probably won't even notice as the intoxicating feeling of superiority gained from new knowledge gives way to the desire to discover something even greater. And there you will be, passing ink and paper to a new neophyte, knowing they're looking for answers they will never find. Interesting. That does remind me though, each creature usually has Multiple lords? No, this one only has one. Okay, weird. This one has 3, though. That one. 3. Yeah, most of them have 3, but that one didn't. Watchers. Little is known about the Watchers. Usually they are seen just staring at something intently. Rarely do they enter their tower, only to return soon after and continue their watch. They rarely intrude on any events taking place unless the course of history changes drastically. He told me the stars are going out one after another, the most distant ones first, unseen to our eyes. He said they had begun disappearing thousands of years ago, and almost no stars are left now. I didn't believe him, of course. I can still see all the stars. All the 18 stars from the top of the hill, where they always were. An extract from the report to the head of the Astronomical Society. During the siege, an unknown creature appeared. It was just floating in the air and nothing else, so we continued the assault. We breached the east gate soon after, and the enemy started pouring the boiling oil on our heads. And then I heard a voice inside my head. That is not how it must happen. And the oil didn't harm us at all. We successfully pressed on, broke through the enemy defenses. A field report by Captain Jarrow. Back when I was a little girl, I got lost and came upon a lonely tower. Its door was open. Inside, I saw thousands of glass walls with unimaginable paintings on them. Great shining lights surrounded by stars. Creatures just like in my grandmother's fairy tales, cities made of light and water. Then a man in a cape told me, the Defiler's line must not be broken. You must live. And in the next moment, I was standing in front of my home estate. You're the collector of stories. Let my tale, crossed out, be in your collection too. One of the stories collected by Gregor, the Suspicious. Alright. Got enough for it. I want to get tome. There's so many of these I want, but let's get the tome next. Some spells are so powerful that the mere act of transcribing them onto paper can have dire consequences, and if such spells are jam-packed into a single-bound book, absolutely nothing good will come of this. Even turning a single page can be enough to transmogrify the poor reader into ash. The tome doesn't care whether you want or can read it at all. In the end, the book is not responsible for whether you survive all the wisdom in it. Still can't get any sleep since the incident. I stumble into bookshelves all the time. I merely had a common autumn cold. Nothing special, I just needed tissue, and that page just happened to be at hand. I thought it was already torn out when I took it. I swear it's not my fault. I was drunk, and now it's following me all the time. A strange written note. Mr. Udar was found dead at the city library. Cause of death, an old book fell off the shelf and onto his head. I recommend closing this case. A written report by Inspector Angus. Interesting. No need to rush. I won't learn a new spell until I win 10 more duels. Nah, I couldn't resist. Every new spell is even better than the last. What a wonderful book. It's just magical. I would be dead if it hadn't whispered me the formula for the protective charms. I promised to restrain myself, but why would I do that if it could cost me my life? That was the last page. I'm smarter than the book now. I've made a new spell, more powerful than anything else in the book. I glued the new page inside. Maybe the book will like it. It got what it always wanted. I won't be long for this world now. The Memoirs of an Unknown Sorcerer. Young Gavin took a mysterious book from a dusty shelf. Gavin read. He froze in his place, his thoughts racing like crazy. Gavin's eyes were wide open in terror, already going over the next lines. Master Lorenbrag, this book, is it reading me? But Gavin's sight began to fade before the question he just read could escape his mouth. The notes you are reading right now. Ooh, that's a funky one. That is really funky. Let me see here. I want to find... Not that one. Temporal Beacon, this one. These mysterious towers have been known to exist since the ancient times. On rare occasions, a temporal beacon can just appear in a whirlwind or stand, or vanish. A whirlwind of sand or vanish in the same fashion. But the reason for these events still remains a mystery. The origin of the time flow fluctuations around these constructions is also unknown, yet the fluctuations themselves seem completely natural and adhering to the laws of nature. The history knows few attempts to destroy or conquer temporal beacons, and all of them failed. The material that forms these towers can't even be scratched. These beacons lack doors and windows, which brings us to another question. How can their inhabitants, the Watchers, leave these constructions to perform their silent patrol of the lands around them? So you already did Maze of Memories. Ancestral Crypt. If a family has enough resources, power, and smarts, it is destined to become a great dynasty. The offspring will cherish the memories of their ancestors' heroic deeds and tragic mistakes, and will try to become even better, or at least not to become any worse. They know existence itself is a great responsibility, and idleness is the greatest of sins to them. The greatest achievement imaginable is to be deemed worthy of being buried in the family crypt among their honorable relatives, and see the crypt doors open for them just before they die. Alas, the ancestral crypt tradition is nearly forgotten now, and only a few of them remain intact. The best preserved crypt has undergone a transformation, and now welcomes every lost soul. Maybe it decided the whole world is its legacy now, and anyone could learn from the ancestors, whether they are related or not. Still got one more golden card we haven't unlocked. Looks like this building is not just a simple arsenal. An humble name hides the ancient school of Warcraft. One wouldn't call the students of the arsenal unrivaled fighters, but they are definitely always sought after. The fundamental basis of the arsenal is attaining mastery over every type of weapon and gear, no matter how exotic, and using them all together, as many as one can. Naturally, that would be hard to learn without a large variety of equipment at hand. That's why the arsenal also functions as the largest museum of warfare. Among its multiple exhibits are items so exotic one wouldn't even know how to handle them, use them, or even wear them. If you happen upon a clumsy-looking warrior bristling with a ridiculous amount of gear, don't be too quick to laugh at him. It's quite possible that he is a graduate of the arsenal, and he'll use all of his deadly inventory to teach you some respect. Storm Temple. The cult of the Golden Arrow is one of the most ancient pagan cults. Sometimes it's also called the cult of thunder and lightning. There is some irony in calling a few standing stones and a simple roof above them a temple, though. But even today, some people still keep building them. Why do they do it? It's quite simple. It may be just a cult, and it may be pagan, but lightning storms in the regions with these temples actually grow more frequent. The cultists of the Golden Arrow tend to look down on other religions because their god can actually be summoned and seen by anyone, as opposed to the gods of their opponents. The goal of these cultists seems to remain a mystery even to themselves. The lightning tends to strike not only the cult's potential enemies, but any other targets, including the hapless cultists themselves. Perhaps they just love to see an uncontrollable power coming to this world by their will. Which one do I want next? The Ziggurat. A monumental temple that used to bask in the eternal scorching sunlight. Its walls accumulated enough heat to cook the deep sands around it, but not enough to warm the Ziggurat's inhabitants longing for the glow of the heavenly orb. The magic of this place is very simple, and also very useless. With or without magic, everything will turn to sand sooner or later. The Ziggurat merely accelerates the process, ever so slightly. Villagers adapted to living without most aspects of the outer world, content with the bare necessities of rural life. Like their fields and bloodthirsty aristocrats, turns out the list was incomplete without the greedy bandits. Unlike other scarce groups of people wandering in the unstable dock, the bandits have not forgotten their desires. Unconcerned by the end of the world or the yesterday that doesn't exist, they only care about the coffers of a nearby village. Even in the dissolving world, they remain deaf to any pleas of mercy, yet quick to spot the items they can steal. Unbelievably, they can make this horrible life even worse. Something interesting I noticed. If you have a village, and you block off like all the connecting areas to it, like on the sides with other items, and you block off like all the sides of where you put a second village, normally a second village would spawn a bandit camp. But if there aren't any villages with a space next to them where a bandit camp could form, a bandit camp will not form. So it's a weird loophole to work around that problem. Bloodgrove. The bright red color of the leaves and roots of these trees has no connection to their diet, although some may find it a somewhat sinister coincidence. Strictly speaking, the leaves are just rudimentary for the plants in a blood grove. Photosynthesis is only a secondary way to acquire energy. The vines hiding in the forest floor are quick to react to the twitching movements of any wounded or dying creature. In an instant, the poor victim becomes entangled in them to be dragged underground. How they can tell if a creature is dying is quite interesting, but not as interesting as the blood grove's method of propagating its species. Those fleshy giants, often mistaken for undead monsters because of their grotesque appearance, they are actually just a peculiar type of fruit made from meat, bones, and branches. During its short bloom, this seed uses its bare, bloody flesh to attract predators, whose dead bodies will nourish the crimson sprouts of a new blood grove. Something else I learned about the blood groves: if you plant a forest, like near where a blood grove would go, next to the road, a forest will also sustain a blood grove, even if you don't have a grove on the road itself. So, there's a couple interesting item connections with some of these things. I wonder what goes there and what goes there. So many different odds and ends that we have not discovered yet. Overgrown field. No one sowed it and no one will harvest his crops, yet it is still here somewhere. So your past has led you to a wheat field. Now you can be perfectly sure there's a village somewhere nearby, or in the worst case scenario, the remains of a village. However, this simple rule can be broken, as oblivion and chaos often forge the once inseparable objects to exist on their own. An overgrown field is a bit of a paradox, a creation without a creator. Maybe the scattered pieces of the world are trying to recombine, according to the laws of logic and cause and effect relationships, maybe even forming new laws from scratch, but definitely not this time. A heavy haze of opportunity lingers around this place, trying to justify its existence, but to no avail. Alright, I'm out of books now, but we've had a lot of lore dumps. That tells us a lot about the building of this world, and this world is weird, really interesting, but it's got some funky stuff going on. Anyway, everyone, I should wrap up this recording session and probably this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get to... I want the next episode to include the level 2 boss fight. Been having trouble getting to that, and had a lot going on with some of this other stuff. So, lots of lore dumps lately, most of it. But we have been discovering a lot of cards and how they work, building out the village. So there's a lot going on, it just doesn't feel like a lot, and it's not like progressing the main storyline. So but I want to do that too. But thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night, everyone. Bye!